fuel pump on it. Of course, I did that day before yesterday. I need to glue this so that can stop coming off. That's very dangerous. Need another screw for here. I need to unscrew this back out, paint that. That looks like crap. All I have left to paint are these little things here, whatever they're called. I think I put these on upside down. I think this one goes over there. I don't know, I could be wrong. Anyway, need to paint that and this. Of course, all of this. That, and that. I think it's starting to warm up. Sounds alright. Not bad at all. Oh yeah. I think it's starting to run out of fuel though. It is on reserve. Let's go ahead and shut that off. But yeah, it is on reserve, and I did go on like 2 rides with the little bit of fuel that's in here. Let's see here. Yeah, if you listen, it sounds like the fuel is like down in here. Maybe here, but that's not much. I mean, you have to consider it's not sitting in there like that. It's sitting in there, you know, at the very bottom, so there might be like that much left in it. That's not much anything. But the only reason I'm not painting, as you can see, it's wet. It is drizzling right now. So tomorrow, Sunday, I may have a little time to paint tomorrow. If not, it'll have to wait until next weekend. Then again, I could just end up doing, you know, some painting when I get off work. You know, if I'm not too run down, which here recently we do have 2 big jobs coming up, but right now everything's pretty easy. So I may have time to do that after work. Next time I do an oil change, which will be pretty soon, I may do that next month, which is just a couple days from now. I need to pull that cover back off. That's where the stator is, but I need to pull that cover off. And because it's solid metal, there's no rubber pieces or anything, I can actually do that correct. I can sand all of that old paint off, and then I can prime it, stick it in the oven, you know, bake it to cure it. And then once it comes out, I can paint it with the black paint, stick it back in the oven, cure it, all that jazz. It'll be this shade and this. These 2 were both painted, of course. As you can tell, this is a little bit richer in black. It's a different brand of paint, of course. But I'll probably end up doing a lot of this, right? Take these handlebars off, sand it down, paint it, stick it in the oven, you know, because all this stuff just comes off. It's not that big of a deal. You pop these 2 off, disconnect everything, this whole thing comes up. The triple tree, I may paint it, not sure yet. But of course, all that'll have to come off. These risers, I should be able to paint those. They do just unbolt from underneath here, as you can see, and then the risers come off. But yeah, I mean, so far the bike is great. Been a lot of fun to ride, but again, even though it's been a little over a year since I have rode my motorcycle, it's just sat up. My skills are still there. I'm still able to control the bike. The same as, it's like I never stopped. It's not like I went 5, 6, 7 years without riding. I've hear a lot of stories of people doing that. They'll go, half a decade without riding, and then they'll hop right back on thinking that their skills are still there. No, the muscle memory is there. When I say muscle memory, I mean you may know how to blip the throttle, you may know how to press the start, you may know how to go through the gears, but you haven't gotten on the road, and actually, steer, counter steer, front brake, rear brake, both brakes, just the rear brake. All these things matter. These things, you know, you have to be able to use all of the, more than just your muscle memory. You need to have your skills still up there. But anyway, enough about that. I do plan on painting the fuel tank. I'm going with something simple. I was going to go with something elaborate, like a bunch of skulls and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. What I'm probably going to end up doing is, as you can see over here on this side, this is the Maltese cross. And I actually didn't do this. My wife did. I was working, and I needed to get this done. We actually had to do this like 3 or 4 different times between the two of us. It was not that easy. But after it was all said and done, she ended up painting it, and it looks amazing. She wasn't too happy with it, but I told her, I said, look, that looks great. Leave it like it is. So what I'm probably going to do is put a red cross right here. Maltese cross right there in the dead center. I think that'll look really great. Now, of course, it's going to be bigger than that, but I think that'll look pretty freaking cool. And then, of course, I'll go over it with some protective enamel. I'll probably go with a matte enamel. I don't want it shiny. The black is not meant to be shiny. The red is meant to pop and grab your attention and say, hey, look at me over here. Whereas the black is supposed to remain subtle, in the background. And then, of course, I need to paint my rear tail lights. Get some adhesive and stick on there so they don't come off also. But other than that, I mean, the bike's coming back together pretty great. I just need to clean up over here. I know it looks like crap. Let me plug this back in. Give me a second. Alright. So I got that plugged back in. I also took these stupid reflectors off of the back. I mean, those reflectors looked like ass. There's just no other way of putting it. But I got that light working, the license plate light. I got it working. So, oh wait, hold on. I got my license plate light working. I don't give a shit. What are you gonna do? Take my bike? It's a headache. Anyway, no, it's been a project bike. I mean, it's something other than diesel. I mean, I'm learning diesel. I'm still learning motorcycles. I've had this bike for years, but I'm still learning it. But it is fun to ride. It really is. But if you guys can see, I wish you guys could see the look on my wife's face. When I come riding up, I'm all excited and she's not. And that's because she hasn't been on this bike. We have 2 kids, possibly a third one on the way. We did lose one last year. She had a miscarriage last year, middle of last year. And so, we're thinking that we got another one on the way. But, if she's not pregnant right now, I would love to get her on my bike and take her for a ride, just to see that joy and happiness on her face again. You know, that's one of the things we did when we first started dating is she hopped on my bike and we just went for a ride. We wouldn't even have a destination. We would just ride just for the hell of it. And you know, right now, yeah, I hop on my bike and I just go on a little drive. 4 miles. That's it. That's nothing. You know, if you get on a motorcycle, you wanna switch over to reserve and go pull into a gas station and then keep on riding. But, you know, it's more like get a 2-gallon gas can or a 1-gallon gas can, put some gas in there and just go in a small circle. Main reason is that right there. You know, my tags aren't legal, so I don't go on any major roads. I stay on gravel. You know, it's no different than a person with a four-wheeler. I mean, most people that have four-wheelers don't have insurance on that or anything like that. But I'm not trying to get up on the highway and, you know, some father trying to go home, I pull out too fast and I end up hitting him and, you know, end up destroying his only means of transportation. And, oh, I don't have insurance. I'm not doing that to anyone. Sorry, I'm not doing that because I wouldn't want it done to me. So, you know, you treat others the way you wish to be treated. So, you know, I keep my butt back here on the gravel and, you know, I will be putting insurance back on here probably next month. Because I would start, like, it's starting to warm up this next following week. It's supposed to be in the 60s at night and like high 80s, low 90s. You know, it's not 90s yet, but yeah, I'm probably going to be riding my bike to and from work. I mean, after I get everything finished painted, of course, and I do need to get this squared away. I'm probably just going to get some, I'm going to look for a replacement just for this side. If I can't find it, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some LED strips that go on the forks. And you can use those as turn signals. Here in this state, that is legal. I mean, in this state, I do not have to have turn signals. It's not required for me to have turn signals on this motorcycle, but I would like to have them because I'd like a person to know, hey, I'm trying to turn left or right or whatnot. But anyway, um, yeah, it'll help me save a little bit more money. I mean, that truck doesn't use a whole lot of fuel. Believe it or not, it's a 1-ton. You know, this is, of course, my Outlaw Bayou Rider channel. But I know I haven't made a video in a while for Deep South Bayou Diesel. But that's the star of the channel. And I don't know if I told you guys, but I am in the process of getting another diesel. I'm trying to get a 6.0. I know there's probably going to be some of you that are like, what, a 6.0? Are you crazy, man? Those things are a headache. Not really. At work, a lot of our work trucks are the 6.4, and there's nothing done to them. See, what it is, and this is really a conversation for my diesel channel, but I'll say this. The 6.0 and the 6.4, they do have their flaws. They do. But a lot of the 6.0s, oh, I blew a head gasket, you know, and all that jazz. That's because people put these programmers on it because they're not happy with the 325 to 350 horses straight from the factory. So they want to turn that crap up on a high tune and they blow their engine up. And the same with the 6.4 liter. Now, I'm not trying to defend the 6.4 liter, but next month will be 6 months of me working with my new job. My supervisor has been in his truck for over a year. He's never had the engine replaced. There's nothing specifically done to it, and it is the 2008. It's an F350 6.4 liter, the 6.4, the one that had the most problems with it. And there are multiple trucks. It's a fleet, actually. They have a fleet of 6.4s. Now, they are starting to transition out of the diesels at work, and they're moving over to, I think it's the 7.3 Godzilla engine. A lot of those Super Duties are coming with those. So, you know, work is starting to buy into those. I have no idea why, because those things are going to drink the hell out of some fuel, and the horsepower and torque just isn't there. But, hey, you know, I don't own the business. I don't run the business, so they're going to do it however they want to. Um, but I think it's a horrible idea. I think that they're going to regret it, and they're probably going to end up going right back to buying newer diesels, which at that point, I do know the 6.7 is still available. The problem is they're going to be paying anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000, if not north of $90,000 per truck, to remedy their mistake, and that's going to probably bite them hard financially. But that's not my decision. That's, I'm not the owner. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm none of those things. I'm just a person that uses common sense, and I know that ever since I sold my green truck, my F-150, and this has been the only truck that I use to get back and forth to work, I technically don't have to fill up every week. When it gets down to a half a tank, I fill it back up. That's it. $40-$50, and it puts me back towards full. So, I mean, if it ever comes to a week to where, I'm a little limited on funds, I actually don't have to put that fuel back in there. I can go 2 weeks on a full tank of gas. 2 weeks. Whereas my F-150, it was the 4.6 liter single overhead cam. I had fresh oil change, fresh plugs, fresh coils. My U-joints were good. Everything was good. I had a good transmission and everything was strong on that truck. I had no flaws. And I put anywhere between $25-$30, put me close to a half a tank, and I could get about 4 or 5 days. So, because 1 week we work 5 days, the next week we work 4 days. I cannot get 2 weeks with a half a tank of gas in that F-150. That wasn't happening. Even full, I didn't get a full 2 weeks. I know that sounds pretty horrible, and most of my driving is highway driving, and my job is only 14 miles from here, so I was really doing 13 miles from here, so 26 miles round trip. So, it just, to me, it didn't seem as cost effective as this. And then, of course, not just going back and forth to work, if I have somewhere else I need to go, of course, if we don't take my wife's SUV, we take my truck. So, diesel, everyone knows diesel burns cleaner, diesel burns slower. So yes, it does get better fuel economy than a gas burner does. Yes, I understand that has like a 30-gallon tank, 40-gallon. I don't think it's a 40-gallon tank. I filled this thing up from damn near empty, and it's never been close to 40 gallons. I think it is a 38-gallon tank, and my wife's SUV has a 28-gallon tank, and it's a gasser. But and since this is a motorcycle channel, this has a 3.4-gallon tank. But anyway, yeah. I just think it's more effective. I've also had this truck stuck once. It was an accident. It wasn't me that got it stuck. I'm not going to name names or put anyone under the bus. But I tried to use my 150 to get this unstuck, and it didn't happen. Fell on its face. So, what I need to do is get another diesel. And I know I have a 3/4 ton. We'll pull that 1 ton out, depending on how it's stuck. It will pull it out. I've seen it done before, especially if I get a winch. But this is a 20-minute video. I was not planning on this being a 20-minute video at all. I was silent for the most part of the video. And now I need to go over there and see what the hell my dog is barking about. So, thanks for watching, guys. Definitely more to come. Later, Gators.